What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. And I am officially in love with Gal Gadot. Can I please have that for Christmas? Okay, so I mentioned this in my review of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. I owed Gal Gadot an incredible apology because in this movie, she freaking kills it. Now, I know that fans have been severely divided for some time with some of the DC movies that have been coming out, but I can honestly say there should be no division here. This movie is freaking incredible, guys. You know, this is not easy because there's so much to like about this movie, but I do have to begin with the cast. Whoever did the casting for this movie really deserves a raise, really understood what the comics was trying to portray, because the casting here is just brilliant. And I really have to say props to whoever cast Connie Nielsen, who plays Wonder Woman's mother, Hippolyta, in the film. Now, she's not in it for very long, but her scenes are so memorable, and they really give this film a lot of weight. What I loved about her performance is that it was very commanding, and you felt that she was in fact the Queen of the Amazons, and it just made Themyscira feel a little bit more real. Now, if you guys have been following the reviews, you'll know that I just finished my 5th season of House of Cards, and to see Robin Wright in the role of Antiope in this movie, Jesus Christ, guys, she was freaking amazing and one of the baddest things about this film. As a kid, I remember watching reruns of the 1970s version starring Linda Carter of Wonder Woman, and I always thought that the character of Steve Trevor was a bit of a freaking tool. I couldn't stand the guy for some reason. Chris Pine, on the other hand, was great in this role. He really gives Steve Trevor a lot of depth, and he's just not some idiot following around pining after Diana Prince. He's actually really good in this film and adds a lot of emotional weight. On top of that, the chemistry between these two. The freaking chemistry is astronomical. The banter between the two is great. The dialogue is fantastic. What I like about it is that it wasn't contrived, it wasn't forced. This was so natural, and really a credit to both of them. They just really worked well. From a technical aspect, at least from the languages here, one of the things that has always pissed me off about films is that they always seem to give a British accent to anything that is related to antiquity. Well, they didn't do that here. They used a very unique dialect to have on Themyscira, which was really cool. I actually think the accents worked really well here, and every actor got it so perfect, and it made it a lot more believable, so props for that. I also was very proud that they took a bold move in the characterizations of these Amazons. They didn't just make them warriors and kind of mindless brutes. They were educated. You can tell by the way that they spoke on Themyscira. There was even the part in the movie that I thought was very fascinating where Diana tells Trevor, yeah, we speak several languages, 200 languages in fact. I think one of the strongest things about this film was definitely the characterization of Wonder Woman. She was much more thoughtful, much more insightful, and much more reflective in this film. She even has a monologue at the beginning of the film, kind of chronicling the journey that she goes through, because she definitely has an arc in this film. Essentially what happens is she leaves Themyscira somewhat naive and idealistic, and then she's faced with a conundrum of what the real world is like, particularly in the setting during the First World War. And that lends me into the theme and also the tone of this film, which was absolutely brilliant. I have to give them props for this, okay? Because in a movie such as this, a comic book hero movie, they tend to stray on the safe side. Here, they didn't do that. They didn't shy away of the horrors of the First World War. Now, future generations looking at this film will kind of go back, get a history lesson, so to speak, and understand how devastating that was on a global scale. And I'll be honest with you guys, some of the scenes and some of the imagery in this film were downright gut-wrenching, and I felt like I was going to shed a tear at times. It was incredibly emotional. So be prepared for that. To its credit though, it didn't make it as serious and as dark and ominous as other DC films. It actually lent itself to a little bit of levity and some very comical moments, and I think it worked really well. It wasn't off-putting, and it certainly didn't seem like jarring at all. It just worked really well. And let me tell you something, guys, the choreography in this movie was absolutely incredible, and what was really impressive to me, in some of these scenes, it's one continuous shot. There's no cutaways, there's no editing, or very little editing. That's freaking impressive as hell. Another really brilliant aspect of this movie is how much of it now gives new meaning to the other films that came before. And what I mean by that is that you'll never look at that photograph that you initially see in Batman vs. Superman the same way. Given its backstory and what Diana Prince went through in the First World War, you're gonna look at those films and appreciate them a hell of a lot more. And in my opinion, that's really testament to the writers of this film. Guys, ultimately, I think this is the film. This is the one that DC fans have been waiting for a very long time. This movie is absolutely brilliant in so many ways. It has a little bit of everything for anybody. And ladies, if you have young daughters, please, you owe it to yourself to freaking go and have them sit down and watch this movie and see what it's like to be a strong woman, okay? You don't need some stupid guy to make yourself have value. Watch this movie with your daughters, guys. It is amazing. It's something that you should not miss. Alright everybody, I can't say enough great things about this film. That's my official review of Wonder Woman 2017. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. And one other thing, there's something that Connie Nielsen says in the film: be wary of the world of men. They don't deserve you. And ladies, this is absolutely true. They don't deserve you if they can't handle all of you.